Hey, party people. How are we doing this fine, illustrious Saturday morning? I'm doing fantastic. Hey, I got 275 death threats yesterday, and it was insane. Now, yesterday I released this video right here. In the video, I described in 2016, I was not keeping up with politics at all in any capacity, and everybody kept telling me, you're 20 now, you need to vote. I think I was 19 or 20, one of the two. It was 10 years ago. I'm 29 now. I'm about to be 30 this year. They just kept telling me to vote. That's basically what they kept telling me. And I said, I don't want to vote because I don't know anything about anybody in politics. And they said, do some research. I said, who should I vote for? And they said, do your own research, decide for yourself. Now, I knew about Barack Obama. I knew Barack Obama had something with Key and Peele. It was really cool. I don't remember when Barack Obama had the anger translator. I think it was Keegan Michael Key. I thought that was funny. I thought that's all I knew about Obama. I can't tell you a single policy Obama put in place besides the concept of an Obama phone. I didn't know much. I wasn't very educated. I was a Crip. I don't know really anything. That's pretty much where my life was when I was younger. That's what I was doing. That's it. That's really where I was at. I was selling illicit substances on the street, doing ignorant stuff. That's basically what I was doing. So that's the confines of me going into this, right? And I was explaining how in 2016, whenever I asked for questions or anything of that variety, people would just look at me and say, do your research. Or when I encountered a Democrat or a liberal, they would say something slightly strangely undertonedly racist, where they would say, well, I like black people as much as I like dogs, and I hate white people and I hate myself. It was strange. It was a very strange political landscape back in the day. So I didn't really know what was going on there. So I ended up doing my own research, and the first thing I saw was Fox News. And you probably know where that went. I went down the rabbit hole of Fox News and seeing that Trump was promising all these good things. And he was kind of funny, insulting people. I thought it was cool. I thought it was like WWE. And I loved Attitude Era WWE. That's pretty much it. That's the end and beginning. I didn't know what his policies were. I had no idea. I just thought that, man, be funny if this guy won. I wasn't online. I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't on Twitter. I wasn't on Instagram. I wasn't on YouTube. I wasn't on any of that. I was kind of just outside doing ignorant stuff. That's pretty much all I was doing. So I didn't know what was going on at all. I didn't really see the effects of everything Trump did because I was doing other things in life. I still didn't keep up with the news. I voted for him, went on about my day, and then COVID kind of happened, and then I got a stimulus check, and I was like, oh, stimulus check is cool and gas is really low. That's nice. That's it. That's pretty much where that's my entire political backing. I explained that I went to college and learned things, and I grew as a person, and I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. Literally, I'm nowhere near the same person I was 10 years ago. Got a lot of comments, people saying, you used to be a bigot, you're horrible, you deserve nothing. A lot of people threatening me in the comments of the video. A lot of people saying I'm gonna unsub. I lost 400 subscribers yesterday because of the video, which is very interesting. That's fair. I feel like you probably don't want to follow a previous bigot that grew. Maybe, I'm not quite sure. I don't even know if I'd be a bigot, to be quite honest with you. I just voted on a gut hit check feeling. I defended Trump because I thought he was funny. That's it. I'm not sure if that's bigotry or just ignorance. I think that was just pure ignorance, to be quite honest with you. I was just really ignorant. So currently, if you don't know, I actually do so much work for so many people in my community and help out so many people when it comes to trans advocacy and helping people get unindoctrinated from the mindset of being a MAGA supporter. I've probably converted about 45 people that used to be MAGA and had them understand that Trump is evil just by virtue of having conversations. But I think those people want to have conversations. I don't think people want to have conversations. I am going to show you the messages, and I'm going to blur out a few words, but I'll spell them out for you. I'm going to show you the messages that I received yesterday, just the ones that stuck out to me. I'm not going to go through all 200 and some odd messages through Instagram and Discord and all that stuff. I'm going to go to the ones that really affected me, because majority of the messages, I read them all by the way, are like this. This is the first one here. Oh, my grad school, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to unsub for you. I don't know, man. If you were 10 years younger, that's no excuse to vote for a racist, sexist, misogynistic pig. You should have been informed. I watched your whole video, and your excuse is that you didn't know politics. Then don't vote. You harmed to ruin like forever. You harmed to ruin like forever and don't deserve to live. Okay, I feel like that's undercutting growth in all capacities, but fair. I don't think you should follow somebody you don't want to follow. So thanks for being here. Sorry you feel that way. I really don't know what to tell you. I grew as a person. If you don't believe I grew, that's perfectly fine. Once a fascist supporting Zionist, racist, sexist pig, always a dumb idiot. Can't believe I liked any of your videos. You had a horrible past and shouldn't be alive. Just horrible to say. Very just rude and unornery to say. I don't understand why you would say that to somebody. That's very mean. Very mean. How did you not know? No, seriously, how? You let propaganda confuse you. Be smarter. I would have never fallen for such obvious lies and voting for him because you think he's funny. Really? You should vote on policies and what they say, not by gut feeling or anything like that. Do you think that's how people vote? You're not human. I don't consider you to be even black. You're the scum of the earth. Use your brain, research, learn, do something better. I hope you're a better person now because I won't be following you. You lost me forever. I know you can't grow. Hold on, let me open up the rest of the message. You worthless womanizer. Okay, I didn't know I was a womanizer. Kind of just throw some buzzwords at me there. Didn't really know that. I don't think I've ever been a womanizer, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. I'm confused about how these people think growth happens. Have you been a great person your whole life? I don't know. I don't know anybody that's been a great person their whole life. To make no mistakes is insane. Okay, let's keep going. To blur out these ones are pretty interesting. I hope you DIEUFUCKINGCOON. Call me a raccoon. Voting for Donald Trump is effing sick and stupid. I'd end myself if I were you. If I knew where you were, I'd end you myself if I knew where you were, is essentially what the message says there. This one was interesting. This one has a trans flag, and I went to go check this person's music page because they make hyperpop. Really good music, by the way. Insanely good music. For Rat Boys, makes crazy good music, by the way. They are an amazingly talented artist. I just want to point that out before I get into this. Hey, Nigger. How about you end yourself, like KILL yourself? Have you considered that? Voting for Trump in 2016, were you literally, then the R slur, the one that's about mental disabilities. We don't want you on the left. Go back to your MAGA-loving FUCKs. You stupid, baseless, useless Uncle Tom FUCK. So that's interesting, very interesting from trans person. That's very interesting. I knew this a she/her, pronounced she/her. So very, very interesting there. No hate towards trans people in any capacity. I don't think all trans people are like this, by the way. This is not a moment to dog trans people in any capacity. Please don't do that in the comments. Trans people are lovely and beautiful. This is just one-off example of somebody that is trans that's using this instance of hate to use me as a symbol of what they hate about the ideals of MAGA. So, and that's fair. If you have a moment to talk to somebody or be angry at somebody, that's just reasonable to do so. I'm not going to respond in kind, but that's just how it is. This one is Chemical Warrant. You can never escape what you did. I hope you rot in HE double hockey sticks and fall down the stairs and, DIE, dude. I can't believe I'll watch your content at all with 4 question marks. Is that a question? I have no clue. 10 years ago, you would have been 20, which is old enough to know things in the world. I feel as though you have to take context in that capacity to understand where I was in the world, which I explained in the video. I know about this when I was 13. You dumb stupid. Then he called me the N-word with a hard R. You should grow up. Okay, I did grow up. Actually, I think Trump is the worst person to ever exist. So I'm on your side. I really don't understand what's happening here. I really don't grasp it. It's very confusing for me. This is JoJo Average Balls, which is very funny. I think that's hilarious. It's a picture of Dio of some sort. I should blank your throat in your sleep. That's SLIT, just the slicing motion. You dumb idiot. We don't need idiots voting. Trump was and still is the worst human on earth. We don't negotiate with dumb, ignorant cowards who don't read. I don't know. This feels very targeted. I don't know what to tell you here. It's not like I voted for him recently. I wanted Kamala Harris to win. Realistically, I would have loved to have a black woman in office. Realistically, that would have been great. I'm not quite sure. I actually researched the policies of things. I actually inform people about the big beautiful bill and policies nowadays because I read now. I know things. I've studied political theory at this point. I don't know. This really is interesting to see. And also on a side note, people are recommending me readings to do when I've read the books already, and people in the comments were saying that I'll never grow as a human being. It's very interesting. I'll read the YouTube comments later too, but these ones are the greatest ones to me. I like these ones a lot. I should smash your skull in with a brick in GTA for voting for him in 2016. 10 years? That's no time at all. People don't change in 10 years. You need to be jailed and HUNG like the rat you are. This is interesting. I don't know. I don't think a 10-year-old is the same as a 20-year-old when you think about 10 years. And if someone's from 20 to 30, so much growth could happen. That might be the most pivotal time for a lot of growth in a human's life because you become more of a person. I think you can go through so much in those 10 years. I only pity this person's mindset, I imagine. This is a very sad mindset to have, I think. This is just an insanely sad mindset to have. I think that's just very counterintuitive to growth overall, or even accountability or rehabilitation in any capacity. I don't know, it feels strange. If I ever see you, it's on site, you Trump-loving big farm black sow, COON, monkey, and then FUCK. You are responsible for the death of millions. That blood is on your hands and you deserve nothing. I hope you never feel good about anything in your life, you idiot. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. I'm just gonna move on from that one. That's just a lot. Is that not a lot? That's a lot. Hey, trans woman, and I thought you were an ally, so this makes this hard to type. I am indeed an ally. I didn't really change anything. I'm still an ally. I could have previously not been an ally and then become an ally now. I'm an ally now. I thought you were an ally and didn't know you voted for Trump. That's honest. That's a big no-no, honestly. I've always known I was trans, and I've always known I was a good person. I can tell you're not. I'm not gonna psychologically dig into that as I could, which would be child's play for me. I'm not gonna do that. There was always an undertone of racism in you. I just didn't know what it was. Also, this is a very common thing. A lot of comments said you seem like a Trump voter. I could tell immediately. You have everybody that has guessed anything about me has gotten it so wrong. It has been insane to me. It's like I can tell through the screen. How? In what capacity could you tell that in any way that I was previously a Trump voter? I have changed. I'm not even close to the person I was before. I don't even know how you just seem like a previous Trump voter. Don't try to read the book by its cover in any capacity. Don't try to guess this because you're wrong, right? You're genuinely wrong, right? I told you something and now you know the information. Don't act like you've always known the information. You're not accepting that you've acquired new information. That's crazy. I just want to point that out. I'm going to keep going. You won't grow. Anyone that voted for him, their brain is forever broken and cooked. I don't know about that. That just destroys rehabilitation. That's horrible for people that have addictions too. You will probably die alone and no one will ever love you in your life because you're black and MAGA. I like how it started off with black. I don't know why you added in the black. I don't know about that. That seems crazy. I didn't even watch your video. Okay, man. All right, whatever. That's interesting. I'm not misgendering by saying man. It's just like, I'm not going to say okay, woman. I don't know. I just saying okay, man is just putting my hands up in exasperation, just in case somebody wants to get me on misgendering. This is a trans woman, obviously. I saw the thumbnail and I knew you were a piece of trash. Doesn't matter what year you are evil. If you're a rotten kid, you're going to be a rotten adult. Take your time to reflect or just take yourself out, dude. No one likes you. Okay. All right, let's go to YouTube now. Let's read some YouTube comments. Maybe they're more reasonable. I doubt it, but you never know. Could have kept this one in the drafts. Little man. Interesting. Hearing that you used to be a bigoted idiot doesn't really make you seem like a reasonable person. I don't even know where the logic is with this one. Don't really know what to tell you. Very odd. Very odd. Don't really know how to get into this person's mind and help them understand that if someone used to be something and then they grow, they can become reasonable over time. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Babies, used to be unreasonable because they used to babble and everywhere. But now that they speak, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like I was stupid before. Now I'm grown. I really don't get it. I think I have to unsubscribe. I think a lot of people say this right here. Fair. I don't know what you want from your content creators. Do you want honesty? I don't know what to tell you. Not gonna lie, I sort of figured this because you say stuff like I love conservatives and also said that KKK members or something. This person is misquoting me. I said I understand the mindset of conservatives. Me understanding conservatives doesn't mean I love conservatives. It's understanding the mindset. I think most black Christians are conservative because black Christians literally have conservative values. Woman be in the kitchen, stuff that variety, man leads the household. That's Christian mindset. That's what it is. And also you said KKK members or something. I convinced KKK members to burn their robes and got them to burn their membership cards is what I did in Knock 'em Stiff, Ohio. That is something I did. I learned why they hated me, and I got them to not be members of the KKK through talking to them, through rehabilitation. That's what I did. Damn, this guy is actually somehow dumber than any enlightened centrist I've ever heard of. I wonder how he did in school. 4.0s. I had 4.0s my entire time in high school, and I was in early college. That's why I got my bachelor's so early. I wasn't until I went into full college and lived on campus that I began to get unindoctrinated from the idiot's mindset. I did really good in school because school is just memorizing. It's not that hard to do good in school for me. It's just memorizing. That's basically what you do in school. It's memorize things. Very simple. Very, very simple. I'm going to have to move back to Mexico, but hey, comedy is legal again. You act like I voted for him recently, dude. I didn't vote for him recently. What's going on? Dude looks great for 30. Gotta appreciate it. Thank you, Cosmic. Thank you so much. Thanks, I appreciate that. This one is interesting here. I hear you, but I never understood that whole emotional thing, right? Okay, the emotion. I want to point this out before I even get into this whole thing. People act based on emotions first, then they use logic to justify that emotion, right? If you like vanilla ice cream, you emotionally have a tie to a vanilla ice cream. Then you use logic to say, well, every place has vanilla, so it must be a universal favorite. It's emotion, then logic. Every decision you make is based in an emotional front, and then logic follows afterwards. That is every decision you ever make. Whether you get chicken fingers at a Mexican restaurant, whether you like somebody because of their skin tone or their appearance, it's emotional first, always. That's how it is. I can understand how anyone liked the vibes or thought he was funny. That's emotional. You can't understand. Oh, I can't understand how anyone liked his vibes or thought he was funny, because people like raunchy humor. People like different things. Understanding different mindsets is a part of understanding other humans. It's not about being intellectual. He was a piece of garbage. It is about being intellectual because some people are stupid enough to like pieces of garbage. That's it. That's the whole thing. He mocked people constantly, and he was mean. That cannot be a vibe to me. Being mean one time was enough to not take him seriously. The rest just made it obvious. Everybody doesn't have the same mindset as you, right? Not everybody's going to have the same mindset as you. People have different mindsets. People are going to like black olives, or people are going to like people that aren't black. I don't know to tell you. Some people just like people who are mean or rude or raunchy. Some people think he's charismatic. I thought he was charismatic. That's it. That's what happened. I can't explain that to you. Bruh, what the hell? LMAO, my white ass has never defended Trump not once in my goddamn life. I tell you what. Amazing for you. I'm happy you've never had that happen in your life. And there are a bunch of other... My eyes hurt so bad. Sorry. My eyes just really hurt. And there are a bunch of other mindsets as well. I don't like these glasses. A bunch of other mindsets as well that were in the comment section. Some people were defending me. A lot of people were taking me apart. And the overwhelming wave of negativity is probably why I'm making this video today, in order to have a conversation. So those were the messages. Now I'm going to give you some advice, if I could be so bold to say. If I could be so bold to say, somebody that was a former drug dealer, a former gang member, a former Trump supporter, a former MAGA, somebody that was ruthless. When I was 16, 20 years ago, 14 years ago, I was mentally abusive towards my girlfriend. I've shot at people. I've curb stomped people. I've stolen copper from houses. I don't know what to tell you. This is my life. Like, this is what happened in my life. I'm not a good person, right? But I'm trying my best to be kind and grow as a human being. So I'm going to do my best to give you advice, okay? So when has being mean to somebody actually made them grow as a human being, right? When has actually being mean and calling them names actually made them grow or want to be on your side about anything? Has that ever worked? Ever? Has that ever, in one instance in your life, there's been a moment where you've insulted somebody and they said, you know what? Yeah, I agree with your point. You don't get allies that way. You get people that are scared of also being insulted. That's it. Because I've discovered that people do not actually want growth. You want mythology. You want human beings to arrive on Earth already polished and morally complete, like some factory-sealed action figure of goodness. Never once had a disgusting opinion, never once followed the crowd, never once said something ignorant, never once failed another person, never once lacked in human information, never once got manipulated by charisma, nationalism, fear, religion, family, propaganda, social pressure, or just plain old stupidity. Because I'm sure that if you were a previous Christian and you got unindoctrinated, that probably happened. You probably got fear of your family. Did you immediately come out to your family? You were never manipulated by charisma or never had a partner that lied to you ever? Ever. The second somebody admits they used to be wrong, a lot of people do not want to hear honesty. You know what they hear? Weakness. They hear weakness. They start digging through your past like raccoons in overturned trash cans, trying to find proof that your current humanity is fake. I am a person now. I was a person then. Person now, more educated. That's what it is. Everybody you disagree with is still a human. Somehow, I've discovered your worst moment is supposed to outweigh every single choice you made afterwards. Every apology, oh, you're performative. Every good deed, oh, this is damage control. Every change is too late. You did the damage. Let me grow. You want me to just keep living and feeling guilty about the damage, or do you want me to be a good person? Like, what do you want from me? I don't grasp you people. I don't get it. The internet transforms into a courtroom where nobody is allowed parole and everyone pretends they emerged from the room reading political theory while eating ethically sourced vegetables, dude. That's impossible. You are asking for a literal impossibility. I genuinely think some people are terrified of the idea that others can grow. Then they would have to confront their own capacity for being wrong too, because people don't want to be wrong about anything. I think that's what scares people more than rage does. Rage is so easy. It gives structure. Rage lets you point at somebody and say, monster, you want me to be the villain so bad. So badly, you want me to be the villain, while avoiding the horrifying realization that human beings are not just stagnant. They're soft clay, constantly being shaped by environments, media, parents, schools, algorithms, religion, trauma, desperation, loneliness, and whoever happened to be the loudest during a vulnerable period of their life. That's how people are shaped. If growth is real, then redemption is possible. If redemption is possible, then you have to stop pretending every mistake is a permanent tattoo on your soul. Right? Some people would rather build museums dedicated to your worst years than acknowledge your better ones. Forgiveness feels like surrender to them. Punishment feels so righteous. When I was younger, right, I voted for Donald Trump. That was 10 years ago. I was a young dude who had just beaten cancer and barely understood politics, beyond surface level understanding floating around culture. That's it. I did not sit around studying policy papers or reading economic breakdowns or analyzing geopolitical structures. I couldn't name 2 continents back in the day, right? And I was in school getting 4.0s. Shows you how bad the schooling system is, by the way. My understanding of politics was emotionally shallow and based on vibes and identity. The same way millions of regular people vote every single election cycle. People online love pretending the average voter is a hyper-informed philosopher king sitting in candlelight reading legislation at midnight. Most people vote based on like 7 things: personality, fear, familiarity, anger, charisma, aesthetics, family influence, and whether somebody sounds confident on television. That's it. There's like nothing else. Like, I don't think most people would, if you said, whenever you go to somebody and say, well, what's Trump's policy on this? They don't know. You're not going to get these people with gotchas. At that time in my life, I was not plugged into political discourse. I was not watching the news every single day. I was not surrounded by political analysis. My YouTube feed was cooking content and a lot of random garbage. I think I watched stick fights for a lot of my childhood, right? I spent my days selling things like illicit substances and trying to live after surviving cancer. That was like it. I was young, exhausted, distracted, uninformed, and honestly ignorant. Right? Ignorance hurts people. Ignorance creates consequences. I believe ignorance is just as dangerous as evil, because the damage done does not magically disappear simply because somebody didn't know any better. I constantly told you people, I'm not a good person, and I am a better person than I was before, but I still have my faults, and I make mistakes every single day. I get angry, I get exhausted, I get tired, I still fall short countless times, but I still keep going and try to be a better person, because that's how we grow as humans. That's what it is. A fire started accidentally, though, still burns down the house. It doesn't matter if it was an accident. That realization is exactly why I changed. I learned. I paid attention. I grew up. Donald Trump absolutely thrives off uneducated and politically disengaged people. Emotional politics is much better than informed politics. That's why these annoying centrists, I'm not an enlightened centrist, by the way, these annoying centrists will say, actually, the left is just as bad. Despite all these death threats that I get, despite all this, I still don't think the left is horribly evil. I don't. And despite literally every death that I got was from people on the left to keep calling me slurs and stuff, you guys are one-off instances. You're not the entire bulk of what the left represents. You're just people mad at me. That's it. You're just mad at me. And you're not going to change people by being mad. Donald Trump understands spectacle, understands resentment, understands how to make people feel powerful while keeping them uninformed enough to stay dependent on the performance, and that's why he won. The people that sent threats to me, all 200 some odd numbers, you're the reason why Donald Trump won too. You're the reason, because you refuse to have actual growth in a person and redemption outside of your fantasy characters like Bakugo and, I don't know, Zuko. I saw those specific things, and I saw someone with a Zuko stand that messaged me. I was one of those uninformed people once. I am not hiding that. Hiding it would erase the entire point. The point is that people can become better after realizing they were wrong. That is supposed to be a good thing. Somebody recognizing their ignorance and changing direction should not be treated as if it's a crime scene. What confuses me is how people constantly scream about wanting empathy and understanding and rehabilitation until somebody they actually dislike actually changes something. Right? Suddenly growth, oh, that's suspicious. He's grifting. What's the grip? You're grift. You don't know what the word grift means, I'm discovering. I discover people don't know what the word grift means. People say they want education while mocking people for ever having needed education in the first place. They say learn better, then get furious when people actually learn, right? Be better because now the moral hierarchy gets disrupted. If a person improves and the simple story dies, the villain becomes complicated, the narrative gets messy, the clean division between good people and bad people starts melting. Outrage survives on simplicity. Complexity starves it. All of you that insulted me, that tore me down, sent me death threats, that have threatened me, you chose outrage. You have done exactly what Donald Trump loves. There are people walking around right now who have said horrible things, believed horrible things, followed horrible movements, hurt people emotionally, supported destructive ideologies, and then genuinely transformed into kinder, smarter, and more thoughtful human beings over time. Prince Zuko from Avatar, since you want to use fantasy characters. That happens constantly throughout history. Former extremists leave hate groups. Former addicts rebuild families. Former abusers confront themselves. Former bigots learn compassion. Former ignorant kids become informed adults. Human beings are not statues carved one time forever. We are embarrassing, unfinished drafts, stumbling through life while pretending we know what we are doing. Some people change slowly, some violently, some never do. Acting like growth itself is fake creates a culture where nobody has incentive to become better. Their punishment apparently lasts forever anyways. That is important. I think accountability matters deeply. I think consequences matter. I think people should answer for harm they cause. Accountability without the possibility of growth just becomes emotional blood sport. Suffering gets treated like entertainment. Permanent shame becomes a public hobby. I am not proud of being uninformed back then. I am not proud of voting the way I did back then. I am proud that I learned. I am proud I listened. I am proud I became aware of the damage ignorance can cause. That is what being human is supposed to look like sometimes. Messing up, learning, changing, becoming harder to manipulate, becoming more compassionate, becoming more honest. If people cannot grow, then there's genuinely no hope for anybody. Every single person on earth has been ignorant about something at some point in their life, whether they admit it publicly or not. The ones who admit it are not the weak ones. The ones who admit it are the ones who actually changed. The people who never admit it, anything, ever, stay the same forever. They sit in their certainty as if they are on a throne. The throne is a prison. They do not know they are inside it because the bars are made of their own refusal to look back. Looking back might hurt. Looking back might require acknowledging that they were wrong once. That acknowledgement is the door. The door is locked from the inside. They have the key. They have to admit they want to open it. Until then, they will keep pointing at someone else's past while ignoring the dust settling on their own. Thus, I am aware that people are projecting upon me, and that is okay. I'm not asking for a deep forgiveness. Hell, I'm not even asking for applause. I'm asking for the space to exist as someone who has done the work of becoming less wrong. Give me the space to do that. That space is the whole point of becoming better. Be a human, be compassionate. If that space doesn't exist, why would anyone ever try to become better? The answer is that some people try anyway. Insulting me, telling me I'm disappointing, telling me I'm a bad person, telling me I always knew you seemed like a piece of garbage is horrible to hear. What the fuck is wrong with you? What is literally wrong with you? You performative Puritans pretending you were born perfect. What is wrong with you? What do you gain by insulting me? What do you gain by that? You should know you're a bad person. No shit. I knew I was a bad person. I know now. I grew. You should take all criticism because it's just criticism and a critique. No. I already heard the criticism. Stop being abnormally mean. Right? You are upset that I voted for somebody who was mean and funny. You're just being mean. At least he was funny. I don't see how he was funny. He ruined the lives of millions of people, which I thought was hilarious when I was young and ignorant. Welcome to the real world. People find that hilarious because their lives aren't being affected by it. That's what happens. When you watch America's Funniest Home Videos or somebody fall and you don't know if their coccyx broke, but you're laughing at somebody falling, their life could be ruined. You're laughing at it. I don't understand you people. I don't grasp what you think growth is. I don't grasp what you think rehabilitation is. I don't understand what you are. I don't get it. I don't get it. Please understand that people can grow. And if you're going to leave this channel in any capacity, if you're going to leave because I'm not the perfect person, then leave. Go find somebody who has never made a mistake in their entire life. Find a facsimile of a person. Don't learn people. I am a human first before I'm a content creator. And I want people that follow me to understand the human they're following. I want them to know of my past. And I want them to know the evil that I've committed and how much I've grown from that evil. Because that's important. Because despite you insulting me, this is going to help somebody. Somebody is going to have a great time and they're going to learn something amazing about themselves. And they're going to know that they can actually grow. A bigot might see this, a fascist might see this, somebody evil might see this, and they will know that they can grow. And you insulting these people and doing this over and over again isn't going to make them grow. It's going to reaffirm that you guys are crazy. I could have come on here and insulted all you people. I could have done that. But I'm not going to. I just hope you become the person you think you are. Have a lovely day or night wherever you're at. I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your Nick and Night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.